Hello, my name is Diodati and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a What We Know So Far video for the next episode of Doctor Who, which is called The Haunting of... The Haunting of Villa Diodati. Oh, for God's sake, right, the title is down here. You can have a go at pronouncing it, we can make it a game. The episode is all about Mary Shelley, who is the writer of Frankenstein, keep that in mind for a second, and Lord Byron, who is a famous poet. Her brother, or maybe even husband, Percy Shelley, who is also a poet, which is weird because when I did my GCSE syllabus, one of the things you have to do is poetry, and Ozymandias is written by Percy Shelley, and there's another poem written by Lord Byron. I remember him because he had quite a cool context, was that he was a bit of a ladies' man. So this is set when she comes up with the idea for Frankenstein, which ties into the idea that the Cybermen may appear, but that would be a missed opportunity if they don't. I know Chibnall lies all the time about this, that and the other, but he said that this episode was a ghost story and it has been marketed to us as a ghost story. But we don't see much ghostly activity apart from people standing quite people standing quite weirdly in a room. We don't see much in terms of actual ghosts. So maybe that means that that's not true and we're actually getting Cybermen. And I think that's the main thing about this episode. The setup for it is quite simple. We have Mary Shelley, her husband and Lord Byron, plus others I imagine, are staying in a cabin or like a house. I imagine it's a house. It's not cabin in the woods, Daniel. It is a house. They're staying together in a house and they are telling each other ghost stories, etc. And that was the night that she came up with the idea for Frankenstein. I do feel like Frankenstein and ghosts don't really mix. Like, where would she get the connection between seeing a ghost and creating a monster that is kind of put together by other pieces? It's basically a Cyberman. It's like the perfect Cyberman trope is that Cybermen are built out of repairing their organs, everything that they have, their arms, their legs, everything, and replacing it with metal in the same way that, you can kind of Frankenstein monster the Cybermen. That wasn't really a sentence, was it? You can compare the Cybermen to Frankenstein's monster. Look, I really don't want to be I won't bet on it, but I'm feeling that we won't get Cybermen. I'm just concerned that if I think that, then I'm going to get disappointed if it doesn't happen. We've just got a run-of-the-mill episode, a bit like Praxeus. Praxeus was an episode that we had a couple of weeks ago, I'm sure you remember it, when we had it just after Fugitive of the Judoon, and Fugitive of the Judoon was huge. We had tons of stuff happening in that episode. And then you go into this next episode, which is just a very, small, rather uninteresting episode. I think part of this is also down to the fact that they've been marketing the finale for so many weeks. Last Friday we had the trailer with the Cyberman in. This week we had the trailer, the American one. I don't know why. American trailers seem to do this a lot more than British trailers do. But they say things like, only one more episode to the incredible finale, that kind of stuff. And that also does work as sort of terrible marketing, because then I have the idea in my head that this finale is going to be huge. So now while I'm sitting there in a lesson, etc., because what else am I supposed to do in a lesson? I'm thinking about Doctor Who, and I'm thinking about what I could see happening in the episode, and believe me, your imagination is much bigger than I'm sure they can do in terms of budget. I see explosions, I see them running away from a whole army of Cybermen, I see army of Cybermen turning up and taking over and trying to convert the human race, etc. A lot of stuff does point to the idea that we do have Cybermen. This video should basically be renamed to, do we have Cybermen or do we not? So we're not quite sure where this kind of goes. It can go either way, we don't know. But I have a few little pieces of evidence that are kind of not concrete, because I don't know whether this article knows or not. I don't know whether it's run by the BBC, and if it is, then it's really silly to say something so spoilery. So if you don't want to know at all, you don't want to know anything, you don't want to know either way, then yeah, you might want to go away for a bit. On the 12th of February, the promo pictures kind of come out for Doctor Who, and while I was looking at these new promo pictures trying to find something interesting to talk about in this video, I stumbled across the article by cultbox.co.uk, who were showing off all of these pictures that they have for the episode. And then, right at the bottom, I just saw the word guest in kind of like quotation marks. I thought that was kind of weird. So I just read around it and it said that a visit from an even more terrifying guest is yet to come. I don't know whether it is just like my will thinking, let's go straight to the Cybermen. Like, it's that kind of thing. But the idea of ghosts and Frankenstein, like I've said before, don't make sense at all in a very conventional sense. So whether they went completely wacky with it and did something really weird, which would mean that she has, you know, the idea placed into her head then, because even though she's just seen ghosts, and it would make sense for, if you're doing a ghost story, to involve a ghost writer. So what do you think? Do you think the lone Cyberman is going to turn up in this episode? I think I'm beginning to sway towards yes, but I am very sceptical in the... Sceptical? Is that correct? I'm a little bit concerned that this could go either way, and if it goes the way in which I don't want it, which is that they don't actually bring out the Cybermen towards the end or anything, if they don't turn up at all, I'm going to be really disappointed when it comes to doing my review. And I think that part of that is due to the marketing that they've put in place, which is kind of a little bit skipping over episodes to get to what they think is the best bit and is going to get people to watch it, which is the finale. It's almost like they haven't got any faith in the remaining episodes, so that they kind of just relying on you wanting to watch the finale because it's got that recognisable face of the Cybermen in it. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you're new. I've been getting a lot of subscribers, a lot of watch time, and a lot of comments and likes over the last couple of weeks, probably because Doctor Who's on. So thank you very much for that, and if you're new, hi. So that's all I got for you this week. What do you think? Are you excited to see the Cybermen return? Of course you are. That's not really a question, is it? But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.